We will discuss about the virtual class. In virtual class, let us consider this is the base class, that is grandparent. Now this grandparent is going to have two derived classes called as parent 1, another one is parent 2. Now this parent 1 is going to inherit the properties from the grandparent. Okay, now this parent 2 is going to inherit the properties from the grandparent. Now a child class is there. This child class is going to inherit the properties from the parent 1, as well as the child is going to inherit the properties from parent 2. Now in turn this child class is going to inherit the properties directly from the grandparent itself. It is indicated in the dotted lines. Okay. Now this child class is going to contain all the properties of parent 1, parent 2 and grandparent. These properties are already inherited through parent 1 and parent 2. There might be chances of duplication of data members and member functions in the derived class, that is child. To overcome this particular drawback, we are going to use the virtual class. A virtual base class is a base class in which the duplication of data members and member functions from one derived class to another derived class can be avoided. So by using the virtual keyword, we can able to avoid the duplication of data members and member functions in the derived classes. That is the concept of virtual base class. Virtual class continued. Let us consider the class A. This is going to act as a grandparent. Okay. Now class B1. B1 is the derived class which is going to derive the properties from the class A. What type of derivation it is? Public derivation. Since we have used the virtual here, so it is also act as a parent 1. Now class B2. B2 is the derived class where it is going to inherit the properties from which class? That is class A. That is actually called as a grandparent here. So what type of derivation it is? Public derivation, and we have used the keyword virtual. Now class C. C is a derived class where it is going to inherit the properties from B1 and B2. Now what type of derivation it is? Public and public. Now B1 and B2, these are the parent 1 and parent 2, where these are going to inherit the properties from the grandparent. Now this particular child class C, it is going to contain only one copy of A will be inherited. That is what the concept is called as a virtual class. So only one copy of the base class will be inherited to the final derived classes by using the keyword virtual. A demonstration of the virtual base class with respect to an example, that is same. So here we are going to have the number of classes. One is class student, this is one, and next we are going to have the class test, this is the second class, and we have the third class, that is sports, and the fourth class that we are going to have the result. So basically here the first class is student class, the second one is test, and the third one is sports, and the fourth one is result. So this is the student class, which is not derived from any classes, it is a base class. Now test class is a derived class which is going to derive from the student. Sports class is a derived class which is going to derive from the student. Now in class student, we are having only one protected data number, that is a roll number. To access this roll number, we are having a get number, and it is going to contain only one number of argument, and this is the roll number will be assigned to the value of A. The value of A will be assigned to the roll number here. Now we are going to have another function called as put number. Just we are displaying the content of the roll number to the user. Next, in class test, it is a virtual public student. That means we are deriving from the student class through virtual. So here it is going to contain two protected data members. One is part 1 and part 2. To access this part 1 and part 2, we are having two member functions. One is get marks, another one is put marks. Inside get marks, we are having a two number of arguments here, x, y. The value of x will be assigned to part 1, whereas the value of y will be assigned to part 2. Now we are using the put marks to display the contents of part 1 and part 2. Now we have the class sports. Here the sports class is a derived class which is going to be derived from the student base class through public and virtual. So protected score, it is going to contain only one protected data number, that is score. To access the score, we are having the get score, another one is put score. Inside the get score, it is going to contain only one number of argument, that is yes. The value of yes will be assigned to score here, whereas put score is going to just display the contents of the score to the user. And finally, we have the result, where the result is a derived class where it is derived from the base class test and sports base class, another base class sports. What type of derivation it is? Both are public. It is going to contain one private data member that called as total. Public void display, that is the only one member function it is going to have. Now in result class, it is going to contain only one private data member called as total. So it is going to have only one member function, that is display function. So we have to write the display functions outside the class here of the result class. So void result scope resolution operator, name of the function is display, number of arguments is void. So total can be manipulated by using the formula, that is total is equal to part 1 plus part 2 plus score. Here part 1 will be accessed from the test class and part 2 will be accessed from the same test class, whereas score is accessed from the class sports here. Okay. Now put number, this is a member function which is accessed from the student. This function will be accessed here. Put marks, it is a member function which is accessed from the class test, and put score, it is a member function which is accessed from the sports class. This one. So now all the three member functions will be covered in the display. Finally, we are going to display the calculated value of the total to the user. That is total score is equal to total through using the 3-out statement. Now in int main, we have to create an object called as student underscore 1. It is the object of the class result. Now to access all the member functions which are defined inside the class, student underscore 1 dot get number 678. 678 is the number given to the roll number, whereas student 1 dot get marks 30.5, 25.5. Now whenever this particular function is called, it is going to invoke this particular function where it is going to assign the value of 30.5 to part 1 and the value of 25.5 to part 2. Now student dot get score. So when this particular function is called, 7.0 will be assigned to the value score here, get score. This particular function will be called and it is going to take only one number of argument, that is score is going to have content 7. Now student dot display. So finally when we are going to call this particular function, it is going to call intern this particular function where total is equal to part 1 plus part 2 plus score will be calculated. The number will be displayed, marks will be displayed, and score also displayed, along with the total will also be displayed in this main function. That is all about it. So next we come across to discuss the abstract class. What do you mean by abstract class? A abstract class is a one in which the objects were not created for the class. So for example, in inheritance, we are having many number of classes are there, but where the class is not going to create its object, but still also we can able to access the member functions of the classes. So such type of classes, what we are going to call it as abstract classes. Merely it acts as a base class where its properties were being inherited by other classes. That is all about the abstract classes. We have created the student underscore 1. It is the object of the class result. Is it right? So now the class student is abstract class where we have not yet created any objects here. Similarly, the class test is also called as abstract class since we have not yet created any object of the type class test. Since the class sports is also called as abstract class since we have not yet created any objects of the class sports. But class result is not an abstract class. Why? Because we have created an object here called as student underscore 1. By using this particular object, we are going to access all the member functions which is defined inside the classes. Got it? So here 1, 2 and 3. These are the abstract classes where the fourth class, that is class result, is not a abstract class. That's it.